Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. This video is part of a series taking a look at Cadence's blocks one by one. This one in particular is about taking a look at the table block. Let's get started by creating a new page, a blank one, to look at this block on its own. There's a couple ways to do that, and the first one is if we're on our front end and we're logged in. There's this top toolbar here. Hover over New and click on Page. Alternatively, if we're on our dashboard, head over to your left-hand sidebar, hover down to Pages and click on Add Page. Okay, once we're here and before we continue any further, just a few housekeeping things. If this right-hand sidebar isn't here, click on this button beside Publish called Settings, and this is where all of the settings to toggle and configure for the block will appear. Next, let's give our page title. Just to keep things organized. And last but not least, let's add the block itself. There's this blue button over on the top left here. Click on that. It's called a block inserter. Now we can either search for the block or scroll down. Since Kadence is up top over here, we don't have to go too far. And there we have table. Either click on it or drag and drop it into our workspace. Now let's go ahead and close the block inserter to give ourselves some more room to work with. And here it's asking us with a dialog, how many columns and rows do we want? Now let's go ahead and place 3 columns and 4 rows. Okay, and here you can see on the top we have auto, and this is just the spacing for each one of these. And you can see we can add a row here and copy and paste styles. So we can add a block here, and let's add some images. Let's add another image here. Image. And we'll go ahead and add some text on these ones, so we'll be right back. Okay, and here we have them populated with images, names, and prices, just as an example for this one. And let's go ahead and add a row at the top. Okay, and let's add some text here because we forgot to, and we'll make this heading 2 image product make this 2 as well, name, and then MSRP. Okay, and then now let's go ahead and mess with the table block settings. Now you can see here we have 5 rows, 3 columns. We can add and subtract over here. Here you can see that we can set first column as header or first row as header, and now this is set as our header. And now we can change our column widths. For column 1, we won't use an automatic width. We'll keep it set at a fixed rate. Okay, we can also set the width for this and as well for this. Okay, now that we have those widths set, we can also mess with our table sizing. So we have our maximum height, right? We can scrunch it down and we'll have a list like this. Set that to default. We can have our maximum width, so we can make it compressed like this as well. And I'll probably keep it like that. And let's go up to tables. Okay. And then under styles, we can add a border, make a red border here, dot line, 6 pixels. And that's going to do this. And if you click on apply only to rows, it separates it like that. And we have cell padding, right? We can change how much padding we have. Cell typography, we can set everything to the left, middle, or right. Justified, the text color, we can have it black as black. And then apply different sizing. We can change the fonts. Okay. And we can change our letter spacing if we wanted to. Header typography, we can also set this up because we've declared it as our header, and our header color, here, blue if it will change for our preview here, and then you can change it to change our fonts and everything, and change our letter spacing and so on and so forth. We can also add odd and even backgrounds. So the background color for the normal standard will be white, the even ones, and then for odd, we'll have it as red, or probably green would be easier to look at. Okay, great. And we can also change how it looks like when we hover over them. Right, and I'll probably keep it on a light one, and then the same thing for this. Okay, that actually looks pretty great. And then we can also change the column backgrounds individually, and we'll have the column 3 background as something to be a bit more legible, something a bit easier to read. Okay, there, and it's a bit easier now that you can see the price is different. And let's go back up here again to our table, general settings, scroll down, and we can also change our row height here, and we can make it bigger or smaller, depending again on our padding within that. And next we have our advanced settings, so we can set this as a default block. We can add our additional CSS classes, add padding and margins, and if we click on these, okay, then we head up one, we have our table row settings, right? And this should be unique for just this row. As you can see, it's completely different for this one. And if I wanted this first, well, technically second or first row, we can have this one be a completely different color from everything else. Okay, and now let's move up from that, and you can see table row, and then our general settings here for our table. So let's go ahead and click on Publish and take a look at our finished product on the live side. Okay, with that done saving, let's go ahead and click on View Page, and we will bask in the glory that is our table made with Kadence blocks. So there's a table made using Kadence's blocks. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to our channel, as it really helps us out with the YouTube algorithm. Show this kind of video to other nerds like us. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.